Hello everyone and welcome back to another stream. Is your boy the P number one Miku impersonator finally getting back to it. I've pretty much taken a break from doing PGR story, but since the new update is coming around the corner, I might as well continue the story. With my lovely voice acting, of course. But anyway, so far I've been pretty much burnt out with PGR as of late. So I'm certainly going to take my time with the story and hope you're all doing well. Now let me see. Chaos Unsnared. Of course, there's the event ending in 15 hours, but oh well, had more months to do this. Anyway, I would say sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. No, enjoy the story. It's essentially gonna be like an audiobook, but with a visual novel. Alright then. 24-1, white and black. Beyond where the white stops is a boundary formed by a black restraint, past which the white cannot traverse by smooth spots. Hang on a second, let me clear my throat. Alrighty. Story time it is. The white shakes. Wait, hang on. Probably need to read before I continue. Anyway, white snakes through the place. Contrary to what she remembers of the place, however, this place does have the same wall clock that tells you exactly where she needs to do. Clock here doesn't play all the lyrics. She remembers by heart until it strikes 6. And it isn't until the clock strikes 7 that her mobile medical bot circles around her, then that lights on her medic bot. The only flickering colours here besides the white can be seen. Inside the lightless room, the white have made its way across the floor, shakes up the strands of hair and sideburns, stopping cold right where it reaches her artificial throat. Beyond where the white stops, the boundary formed by a black restraint, the past of which white cannot traverse. Wrapped in black is a white girl sleeping quietly, reminiscing of a half-finished machine that's yet to be activated, as the machine making adjustments to her restraint works her way around her. Right on the other side of the observation room is a pair of eyes that's intently reading every signal line of her data through the one-way glass. Doing worse than yesterday, it seems. I thought BPH-22's mind had been stable all week and has given a pass. Yeah? Her mind isn't at its best today. It's probably because her assistant bot is away today for a regular checkup. The consciousness sharing module in the MIKU bot has been switched to a simulated AI, no? What's still affecting her frame then? She has trouble adjusting to the simulated AI's feedback. Keeps shouting, give buddy back, and whatnot. That's caused instability in her mind on several occasions. Which is why I put the original consciousness sharing module back in the cobot as soon as she started showing signs of compatibility with the frame. Because I wanted to make it easy for her to get used to the new frame. So this is how you treat her. Like a kid. Aside from making this frame more powerful, they wanted her mind stabilized more than anything else, if my memory serves me correctly. And the fact that the cobot shares her memory to a certain extent is what's causing the instability that we're seeing in her mind. Just because I'm not the project lead here doesn't mean I'm going to sit around and while you squander our resources on experiments that are going nowhere. No, that's not what it is. See, I did put the original consciousness sharing module back in the cobot, but there isn't part of a mind for the new frame, and the cobot to connect to each other, which means that she can vaguely sense the cobot, but wouldn't be able to connect to it, which means her compute power will be shared like it did before. Nervous, Yahara now speaks twice as fast as he usually speaks. You aren't going to tell me this is what she needs to feel better, are you? Well, you see, desperate times calls for desperate measures, yeah. How old are you now, Yahara? I beg your partner? The way you carry yourself reminds me of some innocent teenager. And what you say, do you only reinforce that impression? Even ever thought about a career change? I think I like it here, the way things are. If the data isn't looking favorable, just optimize everything and everything that's an issue. I understand that BPH-22 is your brainchild from research, which is why you were assigned as the project lead in the first place. But still, I need to know your place and refrain from being carried away. Sharing mind with a weapon is a nice try indeed, but science is all about perfecting what isn't perfected based on what we know from the past. It's high time we did away with all the experimental decisions from the past that are causing the shortcomings we're seeing now. The way I see it, you're treating BPH-22 like an artificial baby with an umbilical cord still uncut, which explains your lenience to her failures thus far. You stated in your project proposal that you wanted to help her achieve combative independence. I only hope you follow through on that, or else it's best that your request this project be terminated sooner rather than later. Right. Is this what her combat data has been like? We're seeing significant improvements in the new frame as opposed to what we saw with the old frames. Her mind only lost control 3 times, and when you're able to stabilize her with a restraint every time she lost control. Seems like this frame is so far cry from being put to combat then. Small improvement is as good as nothing. You're going to wow us with an improvement that we have never seen before, no? The restraint won't just keep her from losing it, it's going to partially cap her combat ability and slowly give it back to her mind stabilizes. Yes, I'm quoting what you said. There's no point in capping her combat ability, given that she hasn't even reached the critical point. Well, I never thought this would be a godsend anyways. She's all yours, just keep in mind that the deadline is fast approaching. Dumping the cold black coffee from the mug in her hand into her recycler, Physalis leaves the terminal on the table, unceremoniously makes a beeline for the observation room's door. First things first, if I were you, I'd get her used to fighting on her own, and I'll start by getting rid of that placenta. Physalis points to the terminal sitting next to Yara before vanishing around the metallic door. Yahara makes his monitor up from the sleep, which now displays options for activating AI module in the cobot. Yahara stops in his tracks with the cursor on one of the options. As he looks at the girl beyond the one-way glass, memories from her first ever combat experiment hit him. Good, Yahara. Let the show begin. Show us that one-of-a-kind frame you're so proud of. The pure white construct girl tore apart every last of her enemies in the experiment zone, which Yahara never saw coming. Driven by her instinct to attack, she was not unlike a beast born to fight. The bestiality known as 21 has wreaked havoc in her human-like frame. It was bestiality that could be no pure. Newborns tend to be strongly impressed by what they first encounter in life, and such impressions usually leave them with unfathomable influence in ways not immediately obvious. Her days spent doing nothing in Dallas did not help her grow as a human newborn. Reborn as a construct and having gained her senses, Number 21 has been immediately accustomed to fighting endless battles out of instinct. Where the regular construct has to adapt to being a construct and all the perks that came with being a construct after modification, 21 had to dig through her bestiality to find her humanity. While the modification technology for constructs has been put to many a battle on a large scale, and the influence of the mind on constructs far surpass public knowledge. While it is true from the structural perspective that 21's old frame might harbour factors that can cause instability observed in her mind, her self-consciousness is perhaps one of the root causes to blame. Self-consciousness, huh? Yahara knows full well how business is conducted in Corono. Working on the façades, he is a firm believer of advancement and inevitability comes with sacrifices. Corono would not hesitate to prioritize research over many things that are still subjects of debate. Yahara doesn't consider himself a man of justice because as far as scientific advancements are concerned, justice and injustice are but green leaves that plant the fruit of success. Yahara, however, turns off the monitor without selecting the option on the screen. Cobot doesn't need to be in there for the capability test, but I guess it's gonna help you feel better when the test is over. Terminal screen comes to life again, signaling completion of judgments of 21's restraint. Having assured the accuracy of the numbers, Yahara awakens the girl. We're done for today. With it, 21 eyes open. Previously sealed for visually synchronicity. Synchronicity. Number 21 right eye no longer needs to be shared between her cobot and herself, and has therefore been replaced with a prosthetic eye that adds to her combativity. I upped the numbers in your restraint. Feel free to set yourself loose at the test. Are you feeling anything out of the ordinary? No. This is different from the restraining collar they put on me at the research institute. It's not that different. I didn't pass the experiment, did I? Hits Yahara, the new frame seems a lot more perspective than her old frame. It may not be completely free of restraint now, but it's like the 21 has overheard his conversation with Silas just now. I wouldn't say you didn't. It's not Buddy's fault. Buddy? Oh, you mean the cobot. His new body isn't like a human body. It's different from what I thought. Novatron shakes her head, the air-looking device over her head jiggling a little, as though it's picked up something. This frame came out with the best experiment out of all the frames you've been matched with. Neither human nor an animal. It's just like me. Says 21 as she lowers her head. A few minutes later, she raises her head again. I still want to smell like humans, though. Because people want to throw me into the garbage yard if I don't. They're afraid of me. I know that. The more I try to be like them, the more confused I get. It only makes me less like them. I never had a human smell. I always knew that. Which is why I don't dislike the restraint. It's stops my brain from working when my brain gets confused. So people don't need to be scared of me. You can do whatever you want with it. I need to pass the test so I can go back to Captain and Noctis. We have a month left and I'll do everything I can to make that happen. Let's call it a day here. Remember to ask Vera to export a data snapshot of your frame done every 4 hours. Okay. 3 months later, at the ad hoc military base on Earth. We did pick up signs of activity of hetero creatures in here. We need some time to look into the details. Roger that. We also need to confirm whether you are in receipt of the supplies you have applied a few days ago. The system says the transport craft is carrying them and has landed here. We gave it a quick count just now and noticed that the construction materials are half of what we put down on the application form. Resources assigned based on levels of priority, and the clean zone is about to hit a crucial period of its construction effort, so also they can relocate to a stable location sooner rather than later. Anything else you need other than the construction materials? We could really use a few hands here, even 3 or 4 will do. They don't need to be fighters, but they do need to know how to operate the machines we have here. Our fighters here are all tied down to miscellaneous work, which is why we need a few extra hands here as replacements. And we could use some anti-inflammatory drugs and serum here too. There are quite a few people in the conservation area who come down with symptoms. They're severely short on medicine, and having stock here won't last them for much longer. And we kept getting reports on people that went missing from the conservation area. Probably has to do with the hetero creatures, but I'm too short on time and manpower to follow up now. So on top of a few hands I just asked for, we need more people and resources for me to get around to helping the missing people. Well, let's see. Well, a squad from the Purifying Force is out on a mission around you, and we will be passing by where you live within a few hours. They'll bring you the resources you need. I'll send you the captain's identification code to your terminal in a bit. As for the extra hands you need, we are actually short of manpower here ourselves. Our reserves aren't exactly qualified to be part of missions of this rank either. That said, I'll put your request in the queue. CC will review it and reach out to you. Sure. As soon as Fury gets off the line, a towering figure lifts the curtain and squeezes out himself through the tent entrance that's overly small to him. Done with the call? Yikes! Look on your face. Here, I've got the recon report to Cernay. Those damn geezers at CC wouldn't even set a few hands down here to help things out. This is just ridiculous. And it has to go on a list of things you can't handle, Fury. Yeah? And that leaves me no choice but to work you to a pulp for the next 40 hours. Wait, what? That's not what it says in the contract, though. Yeah, you're going to dig out from under all the garbage you keep in the lounge, right? Nope, probably not going to do that. Then just keep your mouth shut. Yeah, well, let that go. We all know what is the bigger person here. Where is 21? Not back from ZMB? It's a win for me then. Pure casts the time display on her terminal. She previously put 21 and Noctis on respective recon missions to observe the activities of the hetero creatures around the conservation area, with 2 constructs each. While constructs usually have no trouble carrying out recon missions on their own, given the potential risks and the shrewd perspectiveness of their enemies, it would just like to be in everyone's best interest for 21 and Noctis to join them. Recalling what Kurono has said in their report about 21, that 21's match to her new frame is not technically speaking perfect, Vera picks up her terminal ready to check in with her. Fortunately, 21's new frame has proved to be addition to the squad's overall capability, and it's on account of this fact the higher-ups of Babylonia have granted her freedom in her new frame, having agreed to later fine-tune it in accordance to her activity data. Right after Vera hits the dial button on her terminal, she hears the ringing of another terminal from outside the tent. With it, a new one comes into the tent. Captain, and hi to you, too, Noctis. I finished Zone B's recon. The other 2 people. And I've been back for God only knows how long. You got up your game there, kiddo. Shush. Well, we can totally go out now and try something different. Just don't cry if you lose again. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not competing with a cheater. Excuse me? Exactly when have I cheated? Fine with me though. I just thought I'll entertain you because you and Fury have been looking shitty these days. Let's get back to business here. This corner from Zone B seems to be missing data 21. Walking up to Vera, 21 sees Vera pointing at a particular corner on the map. Because they said they were done? Who are they? The contracts that were working with you? Yes. Safety numbers was indeed one of the reasons I sent you there with those constructs, but I was hoping you'd take advantage of the manpower to get things done. Come on, you need to pull yourself together. Section 6 from Zone B, won't you fill in the missing recon data for it now, 21? Send it to my terminal as soon as you're done. I'll take care of things from here. But they don't want to work with me. What? Biting her lower lip, the 21 seems as though she's about to say something. A few moments later, however, she walks out of the tent in a hurry. Is she okay? She's been acting a little funny since she got that new frame. Probably gonna take her some time to get used to the frame. I guess you're done with what you've had to do now? Go and get yourself a set of equipment then. You can leave as soon as I'm done sending you for your mission to your terminal. Vera catches herself feeling a surge of anxiety. She can't quite word herself. Doctors might have been the first to have to notice something wrong with 21, and Vera finds herself sharing the same observation now. Vera's application to get 21 a new frame was no easy feat at all, having only succeeded after much planning and bargaining behind the scenes. Vera was hoping that the new frame would help keep 21's sanity in check, knowing full well how wrong things can get when mind doesn't function properly. All that the new frame seems to have done 21 however is to set her one screw loose, when her overly cautious where she didn't used to be even. And given 21's current state, Vera isn't surprised that her capability has fallen short of prediction. Hey, what's this gizmo here? Hands off my weapon case. It's the magnetic key to 21's restraint. Put it back now before you lose it. Bet those guys from the admin department are dying to see you since you've got a bunch of vehicles and supplies to settle. Wait, you were talking about the restraint around 21's neck, right? Why don't you just go ahead and set her free of that? It bothers me whenever I see it. You know what? I think I'm going to buy one and put it around your neck and see how you like it. Says Vera, avoiding Noctis' question. So not to press further, Doctor shrugs as he puts the black magnet key back into Vera's weapons case. Because he said the truth. Exactly what Vera is thinking. You have the coordinates on your terminal now. We'll see you at the Grey Raven command center waiting for you when you get there. This far with a capital F. Any vehicle I can use? Your legs, of course. How much rather save my legs when I need to fight? Just shut up and get to work already. Grey Raven Commander is coming, and this way with two of their members. The hetero creatures there seem unusually active. I'm guessing there is a bunch of them there too, which is why I'm sending you there. Remember to pick up enough supplies before you go. Sorry about that. Makes sense. I think I'm bringing 2 more sets of explosives. No, make that 5 instead. Done. Get lost already then. Just sent you the Grey Raven's identification code. On it, ma'am. On it. Vera wonders if that's where all the hetero creatures originate, considering Grey Raven's proximity as the crow flies. Given how little they know about the origin, The area of distribution and status of the hedge creatures, Fear knows for a fact if anything should happen now, they won't be able to keep everyone in the conservation area safe with a handful of constructs they currently have. Now that the Grey Ravens are coming, Vera wants to pick their brains on what they've learned. What a bunch of sods. Stranger of a girl leans softly against a tree branch, her voice sounding so devoid of life that it seems like even the gentlest gusts of wind would take her away. Section 6 from Zone B. Over here, buddy. 21 turns the electronic map on her terminal screen to 450 degrees to make sure they're going the right way. This is quite a handful, isn't it? As 21 works straight ahead, her cobot gallops around her feet like a puppy, having fun hanging out. But Buddy always understands me, even if I don't speak to you straight from inside my head, right? Uh-huh, that's right. Lowering her voice, 21 mimics a cobot's robotic tune. And here we are. An hour before. Hey, is that a mentally disturbed kid from Cerberus I'm seeing back there? Shh, keep it down. Apparently there was this one time she was on a mission where she lost it after killing all the enemies and she just went on trying to smoke her own teen. Luckily the Grey Raven Commandant got there in the nick of time and contained her killing spree. Oh? Why Purving was still wipe her out for doing what she's done? Some higher-ups let her off the hook. See, that's how badass they are, the Cerberus. Which means our odds are at stake here. Why does everything have to be no? No, no, no. When did this writing start? I noticed that happened in the previous chapter. And it's annoying. I'm finding it annoying. We find one character that says no. But I think there's so many characters that say it. Just don't want to keep saying no. Anyway, enough of that little minor rant. Tell me about it. I swear to God, I would never have to come if I knew Cerberus would be here. I do think we have a choice. We're essentially tools that get to use us however they see fit. Just looking this way. Don't look back. Well done. Says 21 as she raises the terminal for the constructs to see the data on it. Alrighty! Sensing her footsteps, the constructs immediately keep a safe distance away from her like two cats whose tails have been stepped on. Stay away, 21 is no stranger to situations like this. 21 stops where she's been doing and waits for the constructs to finish what they need to do. We're done too. Alright, on to the next one. From the measuring point, 21 aligns the anchoring point on the terminal of the area's superscript. It's only going to take a few minutes for the missing recon data to be filled. 21 figures that checking what's missing and filling up the gap herself is far easier than having to explain herself to Viron figures she herself doesn't even quite understand, or questioning the two constructs on what went wrong. With her terminal beeping, 21 proceeds to send the data what was previously missing to Vera's terminal. Phew, well done. Probably it's best if I don't do anything unnecessary, right, buddy? As the cobot starts drumming itself eventually gets her, like 21 can feel his chilly ally shell against her skin. Hey look, dried leaf. It's flying. Jolt into the cobot's movement, a dead leaf wobbles into the air, only to make somewhat unsteady landing on a tree branch not too far away. It's not a leaf, buddy. Bruno walks up and reaches her hand for the creature. She wants to touch the flittering butterfly. Better leave it alone. The kid is dying. Following a barely audible noise, a cloth rubbing against each other, 21 hears these very words out of nowhere. Who's there? With the question, 21 positions herself for fire as she tries to pick up signs of anything suspicious where the voice came. A few seconds later, her cobot takes a fighting position too. Did I scare you? My apologies. It's just I've never seen anyone bat these creatures an eye when they are looking for food. The stranger girl leans softly against a tree branch, her voice sounding so devoid of life that it seems that even the gentlest of gusts would take her away. 21 doesn't recognize the idea she's wearing, other than the cloak which 21 remembers seeing most of the refugees in the conservation area wearing. 21 doesn't recognize anything else on the girl. Switching to a more comfortable sitting position, the girl looks back and forth between 21 and her cobot. She doesn't have the unique stench of a hedge creature, neither is she a fighting position. Sensing the girl possesses no threat, 21 lowers her weapon. Deadlies are hard to come by these days, so this is what I call a wonderful stroke of luck. We barely ever see them anymore. It's a butterfly. It's kind of insect, that much I know. Is it dying? Yes. Butterflies live a short life compared to humans, and this place is no longer livable for them. Oh, I'll get my hands off it then. This is the first time 21 is having a discussion with someone about things she's only seen in documentaries, which makes her interested in the girl in front of her. So, who are you? Are you a construct too? Construct. Right. That's how you call someone like me. But I go by Canon here. Oh, I go by 21. 21. Which squad do you belong to? I don't belong to any of you. Hopping off the tree she's been sitting on and landing squarely in front of 21. Cannon is reminiscent of a nimble creature that traverses the woods. I do recon for a conservation area, and I run errands every now and then too. In exchange for my services, Zelans let me stay here. Zelans? The one in charge of our conservation area. You don't know him? Captain is the one who remembers people's faces. Are you here on a mission too? You've probably heard about all the people that have gone missing here, right? I'm actually off duty now though. I like it here when I'm off duty. Why? Is that your weapon? It looks different from some of the machines I've seen. This is Buddy. Buddy's my friend. 21 sounds somewhat proud. She's happy that she's suddenly come across someone who, just like 21 herself, sees her cobot for its uniqueness. Can it do anything else other than fighting? Of course! Do a dance, Buddy! With it, the cobot starts spinning. The balancing leaf on its either side rhythmically reminiscent of a tap inside. After a quick around and around, 21 and Cannon stops right in front of Cannon and shakes the antenna over its head. Buddy can do a whole lot of things like me. And when Buddy is upset, he wants to kick Noctis' butt too. Noctis is a silly big guy that I hang out with. Haruka. What does that mean? It means ethnic group. And you can see it as family too. Oh, but is my Haruka. Uttering the unfamiliar word, 21 raises her intention on the last syllable and unintentionally the corners of her mouth. She's smiling. Haruka sounds good. Teach me a few more words. Well, how about Sinka? Simply put, it means forest. Cannon didn't expect the girl who would show such keen interest in the old language she spoke. She spent year after year hiding the language as part of who she is, all just so she can have no trouble communicating with people. The infinite forest that her elders always speak of was turned into a finite though still extensive nature reserve at the end of the Golden Age, where people still speak their native tongue. In an effort to communicate with her people, researchers in the nature reserve had to learn their native tongue. Cannon never imagined that she herself would have to learn the language from the world outside one day to be able to live. Life as a vagabond never lacks surprises. In the first conservation area, where she only spent a short time living, Kevin remembers people there seeing her as an ominous outsider, when then they just like Kevin herself are outsiders too. Sinka sounds good, but I still like how Haruka sounds better. Kineri, you sing so well. Can I hear you sing again? Come on. Connect and protect our Sinka. Bless the bodies on the ground as you receive the souls from the heavens. You planted and nurtured the seed that they would eventually turn into our roots. And the wind brought you with it your murmurs. Do you share with our people your joy and sorrow, and we have your compliant through all eternity. Please guide all souls that sing the song of Sinka, forever and ever. That's great. Granny Sinka. Wouldn't have a lot of good things to say about me if I sing as well as you do. What was that just now? It sounded good. It's a song from home, and honestly, it's been a while since I last sang it. You said Sinka in your song. I heard it. Does that mean you live in the forest? No wonder you find it more comfortable up the tree. The trees we have back home are different from the trees here. Back home we used to have a forest that went as far as one can't see. Trees are trees. What's the difference? If anyone scratches her head, her keyboard makes a confused noise too. Ma'am, Sinka, this is what we call our forest. Ma'am, Sinka, except all creatures, air and water. When you're in her arms, you don't feel lonely or scared, even you're just briefly on your own. We could feel her from the soil we stood on, and the aroma in the wind, when I was a kid. Stop being cold, Cannon says no more. Never mind, just don't want to bore you with all the yada yada. I don't feel bored. Do you have any monkeys at home? I've seen monkeys on my terminal. They were swinging around and eating lice off people. Monkeys? We call them tangkun in our language. Oh, what about wolf pups? I've seen them all the time on my terminal, but I've never seen real ones. Sasebi is the word we use to refer to baby wolves. They're only active in certain places though. I've only seen them twice myself. Young wolves don't usually go around their own because their pack keeps them safe. That's exactly what I've seen on my terminal. You look kind of like them. Are you a worshipper of Sasabi? I look kind of like them? You mean my ears and tail? It's only so I won't go crazy. Must be in the frame that somewhat looks like this. Go crazy? It happens when I see Captain or Noctis get hurt, sometimes from headaches, but there are times when I don't know why. It just feels empty and heavy in this frame. They said I hurt my friends when I went crazy. So Captain got me this new frame, thinking he could dump me in the garbage yard if I go crazy. Your Captain and this big guy that you talk about, I bet they're important to you. Yes, they are my Haruka, just like Buddy. Makes sense that you would be sad when they hurt them. Don't want to hurt your other Haruka though. Is that so? But I wouldn't call other people my Haruka just yet. Well, relationships can be complicated indeed. When I went hunting with Grandpa Kanga this one time, he told me about this taboo way of hunting. So what you do first is that you catch a linen chick. Linen is a kind of bird, by the way. Then you set up a trap with the chicks to attract their parents. Then they are smart, and they fly really high. That makes it difficult to catch them on the ground with your regular tools. but when they hear their kids chirping, they come back to the ground knowing how dangerous the trap is. Once taken from their parents, the chicks can't survive into adulthood, even if you let them go, which is why people have banned this way of hunting. The song singer says all souls are from the heavens, and sometimes one of the lone souls will just keep going further away from home if our Haruka didn't turn our souls into tapestry close to the crown, like now. Sorry, I was just thinking out loud. Again, the last part I just said. Well, good times never last long, huh? I'm heading back to my conservation area now. What's your plan? I'll go this way. To what are all the military tents? Westward of my conservation area? If that's where you're going, there's a path you can take beside my conservation area. It's going to get you there fast if you go through the woods. Hang on a second. Anyway, okay, let's go, buddy. Scene 21, wave for a hand. The cobot carries its plump body with astounding ease and hops over a bulging tree root in its way. Tell me more about the Sasabi. You said you've seen them twice, the real Sasabi? Sure. I was 7 when I first saw them. Heterounity. When the hetero creatures are unable to set their foot on the destroyed staircase, they can safely do so with the corpses of their kind underfoot. City 27, let's go. Bang bang. Turn right, 60 meters ahead. There will be an eternal path. I'll take us through the buildings. Roger. Commanded, we're here. Please go. Bang bang bang. Doors down, let's go. Round the destroyed side door, a barrage, a human and 2 constructs behind, whose bubbling red marsh and threatens to lick them by the ankle. In the lead is Liv, who's monitoring the environment as she clears the way of path of anything that stands in their way. You find yourself in between Liv and Lee, a relatively safe position. Ever since running into the first hetero creatures you saw here, Lee has been firing shots non-stop. While Lee is immune to the punish virus in his specialized frame, his immunity doesn't prevent the frame itself from being worn down, ensuring fatigue. Head upstairs. As you rush their way up, the clanks and clunks coming off the rusty stairs come to the furthest things from melodies. A few seconds later, the metallic staircase lets out a heart-wrenching cry as the hetero creatures fall up the stairs, painting the path crimson in the blink of an eye. Destroy the stairs, Lee. No hesitation, Lee switches his composite armors to rifle mode in a split second before firing a barrage of shots that lands squarely on the staircase point of application. With it, the wavering staircase plummets to the bottom, with all the hetero creatures still on it. Coming to a halt, you take a few deep breaths to soothe your pounding heart. What's the situation, Liv? The floor we're on now, I haven't picked up on any other hetero creatures yet in the building, but the biggest bunch in the area is we just ran into, right under our feet. We caught the attention of a bunch of enemies along the way. It's highly likely that we're looking at a bunch about 20% to 30% bigger than we detected at first. Lee speaks from where the staircase is snapped, looking down the bunch of hetero creatures engaged seemingly on meaningless behaviors. Every last of the hedge creature swiggles its body towards the second floor, apparently still remembering that the targets thereafter are up there. Fortunately, however, there is nothing for them to make their way up. I might be able to get rid of them with the ammo I have left, but there is no telling. We are going to run into a bunch this big again before supplies arrive. True. Let's wait them out. You can try to circumvent them. Let's stay put for now, but don't let your guard down. Copy that. Copy that. He lets out a long sigh. It's likely that something else weighs on his mind now, since he is the one that complains about missions, no matter how difficult they might be. What's wrong? How's Lucia doing? Liv droops her head as Lily's question. This is probably the question they've been meaning to ask the entire way, but never had a chance to. Many people have never missed a chance to ask you about Lucia ever since she got back to Babylon. Lucia's mind has been put on the round-the-clock surveillance as she has been deemed a potential risk for having private contact with an ascendant. With the Science Council in charge, the Control Court has been monitoring and investigating Lucia's mind and eventually delivered to multiple parties their findings based on Lucia's memory data from when she was in contact with an ascendant. On the surface, it all seems like a harmless enough process of investigation and data collection, except no one can say for sure whether the surveillance is going to stop. Having experienced what they call benign surveillance firsthand, for one, you know for sure that being watched around the clock poses no less stress than the battlefield does. You, however, take comfort in the only saving grace of it all, one that actually currently works at the Science Council. Asimov. So I guess that makes us partners in crime now. You hold out your hand to Asimov's solve. After a brief moment of hesitation, Asimov's hand grasps yours. It feels a little cold. Before you can answer Lee's question, have you seen an email on your terminal that's arrived on the time from the Science Council? There we go. You turn your terminal to the face both and Liv so they can see what's on the screen. On the screen now there's a partial record of mind overload and experiments on the hyperreal frame, except the record comes from detailed notes and analysis. Wait. What is this? Lee, I think you'll probably want to... Dumbfounded, Lily looks at you, apparently waiting for some sort of approval. We project her terminal's virtual keyboard to Lee. With it, Lee walks away immediately. About half a minute later, having been extracted and recorded, the notes and analysis that came with the report, they've been turned into an email. With just words. Code 006. Never got a checkup today. She felt a little tired, but she's doing fine. Corona raises a few questions late last night about the open report. It's all under control though, so don't worry. Control Court has asked for a reanalysis of certain data. I demand an explanation given our shortage of manpower. They haven't replied yet. The motive is yet to be determined, but it's not let our guard down. Doing fine. That refers to Lucia, right? Glad to know that we have him there to help us up on the inside. Exactly when did this? Lee has apparently guessed the identity of the email sender since that person has helped him out on countless occasions when it comes to the hyperreal frame and the hedge tower incident. When Lucia just got back to Babylonia, I didn't see any of this coming at all, which is why I failed to bring you up to speed. My apologies. Hey, that's fine, Commandant. You know you're always looking out for us. There was no need for you to bring this up anyways. Nothing happened. True. Glad that Lucia's doing just fine, but well... These teams have recalled the whole surveillance incident from before, her face growing heavier by the second. Right when you're about to say a few words to cheer up both Lee and Liv, you pick up a barely audible sound. You keep your eyes closed for 2 seconds, then through the signs you hear something that you describe as a metallic object being pulled lengthwise or twisted. Before you can tell them about the weird noise, however, Liv is already busy surveying your surroundings again, while Lee trains his weapons straight at where the staircase was just stepped. No new targets found. The enemies downstairs are still our main targets of interest. The staircase is gone, but they're still trying to make their way up here. The staircase is completely snapped away from the floor you're on. You can't even begin to imagine just how these hedgehog creatures would be able to make their way up here, while they literally lack the connective ability to do something as complicated as this. From the several destroyed staircases, a few razor-sharp parts that stand calmly in the air, reminiscent of the sharp fangs of a menacing beast, making it close to impossible for anyone to set their foot on the staircase. The staircase now lies lopsided against the sand and gravel, making its tilted surface an almost unscalable hill. Anyone in their mind who might want to try the luck of getting up there would definitely seek a different path, or work out with some sort of tools at the very least. Hedgehog creatures down there, however, have for this entire time been trying to make their way up the destroyed staircase. Then you hear a weird noise coming from the staircase. It's the same noise you heard just moments ago, a metallic object being pulled knife-wise or twisted. Then it hits you that it's the hedgehog creatures that are making the noise as they crawl over what's left of the destroyed staircase. Wait. Did you see that one is doing over there? Looking at where Liv is pointing, you see hedgehog creatures slowly inching its body towards the staircase. Razor-sharp skeletons poking out of the stairs. With its belly, the softest part, hedgehog creature against the needle-sharp skeleton of the staircase, the hedgehog creature does not come to hold. Right when the skeleton pokes through the hedgehog creature's belly, you can almost hear a crispy snap inside your head. Despite the cut in its belly, however, the hedgehog creature keeps moving, the liquid coming out of its wounds slowly dripping down among the fragments, turning, before you know it, into a river underneath the other hedgehog creatures. When that first hedgehog creature finally grinds to a halt, a second one is already stepping on its dead body, commencing a ritual of path paving when to stare up. Where the hedgehog creatures were unable to set their foot on the destroyed staircase, now they can safely do so on the corpses of their kind underfoot. The wind noise you heard earlier is the sound of the staircase being squeezed under the weight of the hedgehog creatures trying to make their way up. Flashing past your mind at a moment like this, however, is the story of the Tower of Babel. At the same time, to see yourself a very god, you can't wait to topple the tower. You aren't safe here. Well, probably won't even make it up here, but I think we should leave just to be safe. Copy that. Calculating the evacuation route will take another 30 seconds. Half an hour later. Done scanning. We're safe for the time being, except we don't have a geographic advantage here. Keep scanning our strangers though, in case of anything. Thank you, Liv. Don't mention it. And thank you too, Lee. Taking out those little fries was nothing but a cakewalk. I was able to try out the silence on my composites and armors too. We'll send you a request for certain optimizations when we are back. Sure thing. So what's our plan now? Liv, can you pull out the mission info we've gathered so far? Let's go through what we've already have first. Sure, just 1 second. Liv works her way on her terminal and arranges the projections and the layout, which still simultaneously viewable. We have 3 sets of missions coordinates in total. We've been investigating them in descending order, and so far we've the first 2. We're at the 3rd location now. The first set of coordinates is located 60 km outside the area of coverage of the CPFs. Characteristics of the location are the speed at which the plants wither and excessively density of the punishing found in the soil. Normally, and theoretically speaking, the area of coverage should be slightly bigger than what's popping out, forming what they call a partly shrouded area that falls under being as effective as the actual area of coverage. I've just double checked and confirmed the CV is closest to the first set of coordinates and still functional, which is why it makes no sense for the punishing virus to be found in such high density in the partly shrouded area. Right, not to mention the hedgehog creatures here are tougher than the ones we usually have to fight. But they got a powerful boost from the punishing virus. Question is, where did these nutrients come from? Nothing has occurred in the area recently. The might have caused the density of the punishing virus to rise. What about the second set of coordinates? The second set of coordinates is located 5k southwards of here, where conservation area 46 used to be. It's within the area of coverage, but the CPF there has stopped working. The punishing virus is no longer the densest there by the time we got there. It was 7 kilometers southward, the conservation area instead, and at the new location 7k's southwestward of the conservation area, we've come across a pile of dead bodies of hedgehog creatures that occupied about 96 square meters. Based on our observation, we believe that some of the corpses have degraded and made their way into the soil. Fortunately though, given the conservation area's proximity to the hedgehog tower, citizens from the conservation have migrated to the clean zone, and they were the first people to have done so. Which is why there were no casualties when all the hedgehog creatures showed up. Based on the discussion we had on the way, is it possible that the same thing happened to these two locations? You mean how a bunch of hedgehog creatures died and their bodies degraded into the soil? That sounds logical enough. On the assumption that things happened faster in the first location, they did at the second location. It is why we didn't see any half-degraded corpses of hedgehog creatures at the first location. I bet these corpses had completely made their way into the soil at the first location. It is why we're seeing them punching in such high density there. There is one question we need to answer if we're working with that assumption though, which is, just who in the world smoked all those hedgehog creatures without catching anyone's attention? Dumbfounded, live and say nothing. The three of you all fall silent. Could have been the new ascendant? Can't tell for sure. But we don't need to have a definite conclusion now. Well, let me go ahead and bring us up to speed about the location we're currently at then. The third set of coordinates is where the remains of City 27, located inside the effective area coverage because it was slated to be turned into a conservation area. No one came to fix the roads here after the earthquake destroyed them 6 months ago. Construction effort of 27 has been indefinitely suspended ever since. Most of the refugees here live in a small conservation area in the other half of the area of coverage. Despite an overload, the CPFs here are operating normally. In the mission summary we received, they made no note of being hedgehog creatures in great numbers here in the data they sent back from Earth. So it's possible that what happened in the first two locations is going to happen here as well, but progress more slowly? Which means something is probably going to show up here soon and kill all the hedgehog creatures here and come with a pile of dead bodies. And this is something from the equation. The CPF of the first equations weren't working, but the ones here are. Right. There's no way anyone could tell there are CPFs here just looking at the data. I'm guessing that means the hedgehog creatures here might have a higher resistance against CPFs. The theory of the discussion among the three of you just now won't stand if you can't work out the inconsistency observed among the CPFs at 3 locations. Could it be that the 3 places operate by slightly different mechanisms? That's possible. All we could say about these 3 locations is that they all have hedgehog creatures in their great numbers that for some reason have developed a higher resistance against CPFs. And the only way to take this discussion further is to figure out what brought that about. With the discussion once again reaching a stalemate, you run a mental search in your head, hoping to find any missing pieces that will explain what's happening. Right now, all the projections go proof without a trace. We've got company, Commandant. The hedgehog creatures are coming this way. We need to get out of here. Can the transport craft to pick us up as we go? Wait, are we heading straight back? Aren't we going to stick around and wait for where we can kill the hedgehog creatures to show up? There's no telling if we can make it out of here with the thing around. Should have a sign of caution without Lucia here. Right, 1 second. Pulling out what seems like a magazine and switching into his composite armor, Lee fires a shot towards the highest point of the building. What comes out of his weapon, however, isn't a bullet, but a claw-looking object that travels through the air and following a trajectory. Oh, what's that? A monitoring bot that I can control remotely. I'll stay here and keep an eye out for things. But it's just a toy that came up with on a whim. Isn't meant to be durable against powerful enemies. Better than nothing, I suppose. Just head back to the transport craft, Commandant. They can't meet us at the rendezvous point, given what's at stake. We need to keep a distance away from the rendezvous point. What do you suggest we do instead? Let's see. There is a mid-sized conservation area southward of here, and we are with a mission squad with Babylonia. We can take cover there for a time being. We should probably give them a heads up before we go, in case we can't get rid of all these hedge creatures on our own. And we don't want these things following us into the conservation area. Right. The one in charge of the mission squad is Vera from Cerberus. Message sent. Right. Let's stay down. So let's stay on the down low and head southward now. Let's do that. Packs. This Noctis guy, is he really as bad as you make him sound? Yes, Noctis is a lazy troublemaker. I'm always there to handle his poop every time Captain is mad. Are you sure you didn't mean to say that you're always there to deal with the messes he causes? Yes, that's what I meant. As 21 does a disgusted squint, a cobalt raises its legs, apparently want to give Noctis a few metaphorical kicks in the butt. But Captain always goes easy on him, see? What took you so long? Remember what time boss said we should be back to get things ready? Cannon wears the same look on her face, but 21 can feel her vibes changing from just a moment ago. It's quite a walk back from the forest. Think I've never tried walking back from there myself. It took me only 15 minutes when I did that. When are you going to stop slacking off? Wasn't slacking off. And today all days, huh? Why are you doing this when Boss and everyone else here is so nice to you? The boy's growing volume draws the attention of two people sitting by a tent who are busy organizing their things. They stand up and make their way. Hey, Cannon. Coming over this way, a friendly old lady and a slender middle-aged man. The old lady greets Cannon in a cheering tone, while the middle-aged man sizes 21 up. Hey, Auntie Winker. No, Granny, Winker, cat. The old lady pats the teenager on the shoulder and gestures him to hold fire for the time being. Pouting, the teenager says no more, while his eyes brim with hostility all the same. See, Cannon, this young one is not back here, just wants to say what's on his mind. Right. This is your friend. Lovely. I haven't seen her before. She came with the squad from Babylonia. Right, Hoff? Right. I've seen her by the red-head captain. Superb. Come in, young lady. I know your squad came to keep us safe. We're celebrating Self-Salvation Day today in commemoration of when saloons led us from forming this self-help group. It's gonna get rowdy a bit. See, Huff and I, which is like organizing the light bulbs, then we'll be decorating the tents with. Bustard's being too nice to her, I swear to God. Come on then, let's not get there on a day like this. Cannon has got away with recon, and Saloons always has good things to say about that. Wait, you aren't jealous of her because of that now, are you? See, Cannon's here to help us. You really don't want to hold a grudge since you're living together. I'm sure you'll be amazing with a capital A when you grow up. But she only shows up when we're handing out supplies and keep an eye out for potential friends. That's all she ever does. Well, hell, she doesn't even really talk when I talk to her. How am I supposed to see her as one of us when she's like that? And there are always strings attached whenever we need her help. Yet never such a greedy leech if you ask me. And whenever I hear her saying all these words and phrases, sometimes I don't understand. She's just weird. We would never have to ask her to come down here to help us out if Sarah didn't go. This leech isn't even helping us for free, as we all know. Lennon? The old lady's face grows heavy at the mention of the name Siren. A middle-aged man by the name of Horror wastes his time giving a limited piece of his mind, realizing that he's just done. The teenager says nothing. Sorry, Randy, I didn't mean to wait. I thought you came here with your squad to help us find the people that went missing. What's taking you people so long? What are you doing, goofing around with the leech? Just go and find Siren already. Lillian directs the question to 21 with a slightly quiet tone, apparently knowing that he isn't going to get an answer. He wants to his question out 21. Hurry up and get in. Dinner should be ready in a bit. Nodding at Hoff, Cannon grabs 21 by the arm and dashes off. When 21 looks back, she sees the grey-haired woman in the arms of Hoff and her shoulders shivering slightly. I'm sorry, 21. What are you sorry for? For how you were treated back there. It's all my fault. Oh, I see. A lot of people are like this to me. Might not be your fault. It's probably you carry different vibes from people. People have labeled me as odd when they sense something different about me. Animals accept or reject individuals based on smell, and humans might differ slightly from animals in certain ways, except feelings don't lie. Hence the way Lennon treated you, basically saw you as an oddball too. Only saving grace though is that we apparently guessed who you were, which is why you didn't spew more famine than he already did. 21 wonders if she somehow picked up Cannon's vibes hanging out with her. And what people think of Noctis when they see them standing with her. She wonders if people want to throw Noctis into a garbage yard too, because they just hate the Cerberus. Just when 21's mind is about to grow agitated, she feels a sting from the restraint from her neck, subduing the ripples in her head with pain. Are you feeling okay? Hey, come over now. It's about to start. Already? I'm not even done here yet. Hey, wait up. Before 21 can answer Cannon's question, the streams grow rowdy with people gathering towards the biggest tent in the base. Hey, if you're not in a hurry, would you mind if I walk out with you after claiming my share of supplies? I doubt there'll be anything useful left after for me to claim it if I don't do it myself. Cannon asks 21 with somewhat an awkward expression. When 21 nods, Cannon once again shows that 21 feels fine, before they head toward the tent with the crowd. Inside of the big reinforced tent bustles with people, most of whom with a smile on their faces. Caught right in the middle of the Festus vibes, 21 feels slightly out of place. Next to the burnt smell of low-quality tobacco and the odor of human bodies, the smell of heated food fills the air and warms the body. With all the unneeded decorations to put away, either outside the tent or in the corners, the center of the tent now holds a makeshift wooden stage. One side of the wooden stage is lined with a slightly disorganized row of long tables with cups sitting on one of them. People gather around that table to get drinks. Another table carries some food made with canned food, and ingredients that had been sitting around for quite some time. Two of the bots sitting on the table seemingly passable, decorated. Drooling, all the adults and kids are looking at the food, but none of them fight over it. Cannon has been talking with a woman in a hat, and she entered the tent while 21 remains sitting where she is. Looking up, 21 sees yellowish light bulbs hanging at the ceiling of the tent, flashing cords of light, lying on the overhead beams. In addition, the main source of light. Many of the light bulbs do not work anymore, but the specks of light here and there still memorizes 21. I just asked around and found that Salons has been about to give a speech in a bit. Let's get some food after that and bounce. You need to eat? I don't, but I can get some useful stuff and exchange my food with people. There are merchants passing by this conservation area all the time, and it's from them that I get, well, what I need for my body. I see. Right then, all look like something beating in a piece of enamel tableware. People all over the unison to face where the clang has come from, and with it, the crowd falls quiet. On the stage, there's one big enough for one occupant. A tall man greets the crowd with a smile. How's everyone doing today? Simple greet sets off a tsunami of applause. Seeing people raising their arms to greet him, the man nods back with a grin. Thank you all for being here today. We're all here today not only to celebrate having lived through yet another year, but also to commemoration of what's happened over the past few years and the people we shall not forget. We're living through a time which the whole of who we are is greater than the sum of our parts, and trust, my dear friends, is what makes us strong. Now, I have never failed to take the opportunity to recount the hardships we've had to live through on this special day every year. But in the interest of time, I save you all this pain of having to listen to the same old stories this year. Hey, don't do that. I'm new here. I'm all ears. Is that a bedtime story? Raise your hand if you want him to tell a bedtime story. As they speak, people waiting in decision days to take them down to memory lane. One of the times I can still recount by heart. Silence raises his hand, yet still another smile. People stop talking and return to their gaze to him. Let me take this opportunity to extend my heartfelt welcome to our new friends. You can try to catch me or someone else who knows all about our stories to bring you up to speed, but I do allow to skip a few things here and there as we go. That said, however, I still like to ask all of us to pay our respects where our respect is due, to everything we have overcome together and to all those who have sacrificed themselves for us to be here. We've heard the temple is completely quiet, reminiscent of a church without a single soul. With silence leading the prayer, everyone is fully immersed in the mood of the moment, even the children. These people might have come from different walks of life, but here they are, resembling the darkness moments when they all lived through together. About a minute later, the crowd finally emerges out of the prayer as the noise of talking resumes. I'd like to thank all of us here for your trust, because without you, would not have been here to see this light that shines through the night today, says Salans, as he passes his eyes over to every face in the audience. There are many who have known him for years, but they met Salans in the eye, their eyes brim with tears. As all of you already know, we're currently facing some difficult challenges. Some of us have come back from home wounded, while some have gone missing, their whereabouts unknown. But I'm sure we'll do everything we can to find them like we have so many times before, and sure all of us will contribute to that. And seeing as they aren't here with us today, we hold a homecoming party for them when they come back home again. Yes, let's do that. Another tsunami of applause drowns the place with sobs and cries coming from here and there. I've got some good news to share too. I've got some good news to share too. Given our proximity in the clean zone, we're lucky to be the next group of people to move there. We'll all be safe and free of worries once we're there. I think we're close to the end of the tunnel here. And last but not least, please help yourselves to the food and drinks. One serving person though, but you know the drill. Oops. Guess you need no reminder, do you? But do bear with this one last announcement. Yes, I promise this is going to be our last announcement of the day. This gathering is only to last for 2 hours. You're free to go on party in your respective tents after that. Please refrain from being outside after the gathering, and that's that. The good news and Salon's good sense of humor lighten up the mood. People from the fringe of the crowd start making their way towards the table with food. Another group of people surrounds Salons, shaking his hand and making small talk with him as he walks down the stage. I'm done. Cannon made just literally they're both not wearing shoes. Imagine walking around with a deer skull on your head. It's such a big bulky thing to have on your head. Cannon made her way to the long table with food even before Salons finished his speech. Got her share of food before people started gathering by the table. 21 keeps her eyes fixed on the group of people surrounding Salons, apparently not ready to go. Hey, what's the matter? What are they doing? What are they doing that? Don't they need their supplies? People do that to ease themselves of the pain they feel inside. Alright, it should be fine now. What about you then? The big guy just faked everyone here, and that includes you, Cannon. Salons is probably a reliable and trustworthy person, but he's their leader here. Anyone who wants to be a leader here has to become part of them. Which is not something I can do. It's just like what you said, 21. You have no idea why some people are hostile against you. That's because there is no way you can become part of what they don't belong to, unless you're forgiven upon of being who you are. But I don't want to be assimilated and become someone I don't even recognize, just so I get to enjoy being part of the group. I just can't become part of something else that I'm not. Assimilated. 21 repeats what Cannon just said. Come on, let's get going. Just need to cross the conservation area here and keep walking down the path there, and I'll reach your encampment. Sure. Having only taken a few steps however, 21 stops Cannon. What if this is what I saw in my terminal? A wolf pup goes missing after it's born. How will it ever find its way back to the other wolves? Well, I guess it will be hard. Without another wolf around to teach it how to survive the world, it won't last even a few days. Even if the baby wolf is lucky enough to fend for itself, even find food, it won't last long on its own. Wolfpack doesn't take in someone wolf they don't know. I see. Let's go. Ready to leave, 21 starts walking. Cannon, wait. Right then, 21 Cannon about to exit tent. Salon's calling the names behind and makes a beeline for them as he refuses the drinks that people try to pass him. Not going to stick around just a little longer, Cannon. And this is a construct from Babylonia, I presume. How are you? I can't do that. It's almost my shift now. But I thought it was supposed to be Musa's shift. Oh boy, I guess he meant it when he said he was going to drink until he dropped tonight. Cannon responds with a nod, apparently not wanting to continue the conversation. In a quiet tone, Salon says what's on his mind. I heard about how Lillian treated you today. I'm sorry for what happened. He just has a hard time changing the way he is. I talk about one for all and all for one all the time, and I'm sure he got that off me. I mean, that's what's been helping us through these toughest days here. Anyway, I'll have a talk with him. He's really helpful. It's good terms with most of the people here. Where you live can come across a little special here. That's not to say you need to change the way you live, of course. I'm sure you know that. It's just that the way you live your life probably reminds Lynn of what he's experienced in the past. That's because of what happened that he, Anyhow, do allow me to apologize to you on his behalf. That's fine. Auntie Wingar had it all smoothed out for us. Oh, is that so? That's great then. Right when Salon's about to say something more, a dead drunk woman shows up and stuffs a mug and beer in his hand. Salons! That wasn't great what you said. You are... Jeez, Louise. How much did you drink? Just wait. Yeah, come on, you gotta do this. Yeah, bombs up in you. Just do whatever floats your boat. Go. Seeing what's happening, Cannon nods to Salons, elbowing her way through the crowd that's gathering his way to look at the scene. Leaves the tent. Oh, it's Buddy. Honey. Alright. Alright. Do I walk around the camp or do I just leave? I'm pretty sure they reused this map. Alright, buddy. Guess I'll follow you. No news at all. Sorry. But it's been days already. Have you already been searching seriously? We do our best to locate the missing people. I don't know how's that possible, huh? What the hell of it? What was that thing? Buddy, where are you going? Don't know why they stuck a tail on her. Apparently it prevents her from going crazy. Just stick a towel on people and they don't go insane. Wait here, I'll go around. I can totally walk through that. Alright. Huh? Strange traces. Buddy, check these out. Can't use your eyes anymore. Figure out myself. My eye. Oh, she used Buddy's eyes. Could be the smell of the ambient. There should be more around here. Buddy, see if you can find the source. I'm still not used to it. I can't connect to Buddy. So Buddy was pretty much an extension of herself. Even though it was just a medical bot. Imagine that would be kind of annoying. Able to do something which you can't do anymore. Slime. Wow, this is pretty bad. Still breathing. Strange traces of the wall. Human tissue with punchy brows. An exit. Dead person. Traveling merchant. Chosen. What's there to find here? Dead person. Deeply infected. Blisters. Mind the buzz? Bad reception? I don't. With our superior satellites, there shouldn't be bad reception. It's on the walls. Even though it weren't there any to begin with. Well, time to get the crap out. Oh, she's gone insane. Alright, so certain attacks make her go crazy. Alright, that's certainly interesting. Just keep coming. Cheeky buggers. Let's go. Oh. Oh, what's the wrong thing to press? And why am I meant to lose this? Let's go. Okay, so that's not why I wanted. At least I have shields. Very predator stance. Do I need to go into predator stance? Just end the cycle. Let's go. No. Wow, this is bad. Let's get my health back. Oh, look at that. Lungs now. Now they're dead. Oh, I like how our claws just retract. "21, you're here. That's great, Captain. You are injured. We're ambushed. Anyway, go and bring Captain here. That way, hurry." Why? This is always the same trope with PGI, you know. Good times and then things get bad. Because, yeah, it's usually how it always goes. Well, it's a barrier. Or do we just leave? Guess we just leave. Oh, I was cannon doing all of this. Well, so much for being a happy day. Dry traces. Are the patients all gone? Vera rushed her way to the conservation area, having learned about what had happened. Having quickly purged the encampment, Vera asked Salans to quickly tally up the people here. 4 left in the house, 1 still breathing, the other 1 already dead. That's weird. That's weird. I've been seeing quite a few of them, barely able to even walk when I came to check on them yesterday. Nearby, Salans has given orders to the agitation of refugees. The refugees from a squad of 6 rows, each of the person tallying them up. Boy about 5 crouches before a military stretcher, screaming his father's name as he wails ceaselessly. High-pitched cries sting at everyone's heart. Salans kneels down and gently hugs the boy before picking him up and carrying him to the end of the first line. Widger, could you look at Dak's son for now, please? Having just wiped away the remaining tears of traces of tears, the old lady rubs her hand on her ragged clothes as to hide away any hint of sadness from the little boy. Okay, leave it to me. Salans nods and puts the boy down. Before sitting him off, Salans hold on to the pair of tiny but callous hands. Chap, your dad will be back soon. You saw the doctor give him a checkup and treatment earlier, right? Chap nods his head while biting on his lips, wiping his eyes to keep himself from crying, but droplets of tears continue to roll down his cheeks every time he blinks. Uncle Salans? His eyes are hurt. What happened when Daddy was dry? Daddy always sheds lots of tears when he visits Mum's grave. Where will the tears go now? Salans opens his mouth, but no words came out, like an answer to the child's innocent question. Wingard takes Chap's hands and pulls him into her arms. My dear child, it's all gonna be okay. Everything's going to be fine. Chap follows Wingard into the first line as Salans points to them to a colleague, counting each person in the line. The colleague gives Salans an okay sign. After 3 minutes later, everyone's being counted and Salans approaches Vera. Vera, we have 6 deaths, 12 injured and 9 missing, including the ones who were missing before. If you count, we've got a total of 26 unaccounted for. Thank God you and your team were in the area when it happened, or it would have been much worse. But the missing 26, every one of them is important to us. I know you only have a few hands, so if there's anything we can do, please let me know anytime. If there's anything, I will, but let's make sure these people are safe first. Vera points to the crowd behind Salans. One of my members told me that the Hetra creatures appeared inside the makeshift shed. If my memory serves me correctly, that's where the injured were cared for, is that right? Yes. Before you arrived, the shed was a resting spot for merchants or informants. We took over the place when the affected grew in number. Who was the last person to check on the shed before the incident? Is he on the deaf or missing list? It was a nurse by the name of Vane, about 20. She's also one of the missing. And Dak, he's not a professional nurse, but he's been learning how to care for the patients ever since his wife passed. Anyways, he's been helping out in the shed. His face is severely infected, which caused some complications, the doctor said. He wouldn't wake for a while. Last time I saw the patients, many of them couldn't walk. How are they doing now? Can they walk now? I can't add custom tags to the stream cell. What? Can I pass being a femboy with this voice? Yeah. Yes, this is a very feminine voice that everyone would love to hear. Truly so charming. Instead of it being a femboy tag, it needs to be a femman tag. A feminine man. There's no children around here. No boys. We've had enough of serum for a while now. We've been giving diluted or minimum medication, so they aren't going to recover anytime soon. Wait, we got a shipment of medical late this afternoon. I gave them the vein. Maybe she reassigned the dosage. Increasing the medication won't heal rotting bones and flesh in a few hours. Has anyone seen or heard patients call for help or run away? We were all enjoying the precious holiday time when it happened. Nobody saw or heard anything. The white-haired guy, who's one of us, noticed the monsters. What about the entrance to the shed? Any sign of damage? There is, but we don't know what caused it. Everyone was panicking, and fighting will inevitably cause some damage. Bro looks past out into the site. Until just not long ago, it was filled with joy and laughter. This makes no sense. How did the patients move elsewhere? If the hedgehog creature carried them off, they would have been witnesses of tracks. With that, Selen falls silent too. How about you help me out now? Get everyone who's not on some urgent task gathered at the clearing. I'll leave a few of my people here to protect you. Give me half an hour to search for the area. No problem. I'll explain the situation to everyone. 21, chop chop, get to work. Yep. You take care of this side, 21. Leave the other side to me. Be thorough. Copy that. She's literally wearing no shoes. Literally no shoes, McGee. Rope. What, is she just gonna run out of the map? No, she just went to the tent. Just telling me off. There's a monster near this tent. I see. Could be a false alarm. No clues. Evacuate. Just don't know what time. Probably forget to take the medicine. And off they run. Oh. Are they dead corpses? They look alive to me. Alright, time to kill. Kill some slugs. New enemies? Did I miss them just now? Go back and double check before Captain said. Someone actually said thank you to 21, that's new. That's clearly a fine over there. Sniff. Here it is. The same tracer's book. It seems new. It's heading that way. Full marks and rubbles. Alright, time for a fight. Oh, that was quick. Even bits of them bullets on the screen. I can't believe we left out some of the enemies just now. They suddenly jumped out of behind the tent. I was freaking out. Fortunately, thanks. I'll just continue the investigation. Oh. And he's stuck on the tent. What an idiot. What a fool you are. So incredibly foolish. Alright, let's head over this way. Captain, 21 tasks complete. Found anything? No, 21... Oh, she said 21 is a no. Monster! Help! There's still monsters on that base! Save the report for later, 21. Stop them first. Okay. And they're already there. Well, I'm gonna beat that out. Let's go choppy, chop, chop, chop. It's worse than I thought. You two go back and bring the transport craft here, along with the medical supplies inside. Roger. Tracks. They went that way. Turning points at the hedge of creature tracks you just discovered. It's a drag mark. Salons, is there anything out of the ordinary in the northwest base recently? Musa, Linen, Cannon, come over here. Have you guys noticed anything unusual in your patrols? Northwest? Nothing I remember. Been gunning the south for the past week. North has boy and boy and girl alternate. Musa points at Cannon. Cannon's about to answer Vera's question, but Linen cuts her off. I assure you there have been no monsters in Northwest in the past few days, or I would have reported already, but I think I haven't seen anyone pass through that main road these days. Usually we see merchants or other travelers on this road 2 or 3 times a day. What about you? Vera focuses her eyes on the only person who hasn't spoken but speaks in a hesitant tone, taken aback when she realizes that the girl isn't human. What Linen said is exactly what I've seen too, but I did notice that the woods near the northwest recon point are quieter than usual. Quiet? The birds there don't chirp anymore, and the breeze seemed, for 2 days, was too humid. Another day too dry. Birds? I've never heard a bird call around there. Where can you find birds here? Deep in the forest, these little critters are having difficult life too. Then looks at Cannon and suspicion. Whether it's work or personal, what Cannon said seems not very credible. I think we should go and take a look. If these clues do mean something, we might still make it in time. Hey, the guy responsible for south, just make sure that there's anything unusual in the south. Let me think. No, there's a field of tall grass in the south, but no path. Nobody passes through there anyways. There are no trees, so no birds to begin with. And this? Tony opens her terminal to show Vera a photo. A pool of purple-red liquid lies a worn bracelet of alternating bands of red and grey. Vera moves one step over and waits for Salons to come up and look. He nods solemnly after seeing the photo. This belongs to Vane. It's her late sister's. Vane always carries it with her. I see. Salons, we need someone familiar with the Northwest to go with us for an investigation. But just be warned, they might run into hetero creatures. My team and I will do everything we can do to protect your man. We need him to keep an eye out for traces or items belonging to those that went missing. Can I take her? Vera points at Cannon. She's not familiar with those items and habits. Salons, let me go with them. I'll find everyone. I want to see Siren again. Cannon doesn't pay much attention to others. What about Lynn? He might be young, but he can carry out missions on his own. He also knows everyone well. Okay, let's do that. But know that you will have to follow my orders. I will. If I see any monsters, I'll hide right away and won't get in your way. Also, be aware that we still have no idea what's going on. We're heading out to make sure nothing bad will happen again. Our goal is to rescue the missing people. I hope we are clear on that. I understand, but I still hope that If you see any of them, please bring them back. Everyone, even one is better than none. I'll send them 2 members down south. Pick out a few you can fight, or run at least. South is safer, relatively speaking. There will be scouting there. Some people might have run outside the base in panic. Got it. Zalons approaches a few middle-aged men who begin checking their weapons and belongings after hearing the order. Then he waves at Musso and Cannon as they walk toward the group of men. You and you two go with the group. Remember, if you spot a bunch of enemies at once, run for it immediately. Roger that. So keep an eye on that construct, make sure she's not someone who escaped the purifying force. If she is, just report her all the way up, without going through me. If she's not, just leave her be. 2 constructs nod their heads and follow through his line of sight to look at Cannon. As if sensing tension, Cannon suddenly turns around and scans her surroundings. The 2 constructs quickly take their eyes off her and pretend to talk about the mission. You 3, stay in the conservation area with the medic, stay vigilant, and contact me if anything comes up. Roger that. 21, why are you doing scurrying about? Time for work. But Buddy's not here. I can feel it. Buddy's not here. Buddy, open your eyes. It won't open. Can't see what Buddy is seeing. Tilton shows her fingers like an angry lion, but she can't find her foe. She faces the ground with an empty stare. She tries again and again to sync with her cobot. Her pupils continue dilating and contract like camera lenses. They can't find their focus. When did that happen? Just now? I don't know. This frame connects differently to Buddy. I can only feel a weak. 21 stares off into the distance and focuses all her energy on searching for a weak signal from Cobot. A shock of pain travels through 21 like a venomous snake, racing through her veins. Don't concentrate all your computing power to your mind port. Are you trying to fry your brain? But I need to do something about Buddy. 21. Trying to see if you can sense a general direction. 21 closes her eyes and scans through the message signals for a familiar one. I can't. We've got to go. We need to make a trip up northwest. If you sense something different from Cobot later, or act accordingly. 21? Okay. Scanning through the base one last time, the white-haired girl responds positively to the order. Well. Crazy girl is going to go crazy. I don't know why they keep on saying using no in the sentences. Alright, the Chinese girl was getting mad at me for spending 2 hours on PGR. Well, apparently you can't do that. Can't spend on the game too much. And otherwise a Chinese woman would criticize you. Word of advice. Never get yourself a Chinese wife. Or she would be very judgmental of all of your actions. Anyway, since it's pretty much been almost like 2 hours, I might as well finish the stream here as I do like my PGR dailies as quick as possible. Might just end stream after that. But it is interesting going back to the story after my break from it. I got so disappointed with the Lucia, well, the Alpha story, that it just pretty much turned me off from playing the game, really. I've done everything combat-wise, anything really left for me is the story, but yeah, I pretty much got all the characters I want. Then again, I do want to get the new Lamia. And also Noctis is coming out tomorrow. So I do want to get Noctis as well. Yeah, boy. Best boy. I should make a picture of like all three of them in a car with sunglasses. Yeah. Oh, should I do another drawing stream? Or I can muck around and draw all kinds of nonsense. I mean, that sounds pretty good. And how's my guild doing? I'm doing myself. Fine, I decide. Really? He went up to 1,107. I can't be bothered to do that. I just want all that golden symbols and be done with it. 9. Didn't I? Yeah, I've done that. Done that. Why are we... Wait. Why am I 18? Well, I guess I just did horribly then. That's why it probably hasn't been finished. Well, no longer as dedicated as I once was. But I always will be dedicated to my guild. Speaking of which, how many members do we have? I forgot to get the how many members? I am the Supreme Command. I will always wait. Gibberition. Oh, it's recent. What's the contribution list based off? Oh, someone actually passed to me. Sensor's passed me. But he hasn't contributed in a while. Interesting. It shows me my max. Members. Actually, how do you even recruit again? It's been so long since I've recruited anyone. I don't remember. We use it for friends. So they used to have a button here that auto sends gifts to people, but I don't have that anymore. Don't know why they got rid of it. I like getting extra cogs. Shame, really. Anyway, I'm gonna swap out Chinese woman for actually better yet, I'm gonna add live. I'm also gonna add live. I'm also gonna add live. I'm also gonna add live. There we go, I've got all the best girls. Which is just one girl.
ルシアはあまり口にはしませんが、あなたのことを気にしています。リーさんは口調は厳しいですが、同じようにあなたを心配しています。少なくとも、レイブン隊のみんなが無事であれば、私の行いは報われるのです。
Liv's a good person. Now, some people are like, oh, I want, whoops. Some people are like, oh, it's the interact. I was gonna make it right. Some people want like the sadomasochistic woman.
でもあなたは私に服従よ。
And they want to be absolutely ruined by her.
退屈ね。面白い話はないの？今聞きたいわ。何でもいいわ。だって私はただあなたの困ってるところを見たいだけなの。
This woman intimidates me. But I even made a meme about it. The sheer intimidation of Yura. Alright. Getting those vending warehouses. Gonna get them tasty rewards. Six and 2, and we're done. Too easy. Too easy, too simple. Another day, another dollar. It's actually not what I want all of these. I want to make sure my cogs will be infinite. This is what Art Knight said. Instead of the stupid auto mode that fails you, they need an auto killer. An auto mode where you just tap 2 buttons in the area, you get all the stuff you need. Perfect. There we go. And yeah, this is... Oh, it's still going. Oh wait, it's over. It's better to say. And... the rest shall be of cogs. I have almost fully upgraded everyone. I just need to do Shangul, Chrome, Kamui's almost done. I just need to add points to these 2. And yeah, I only got 3 left to do. And the characters I will not be getting. I'm surprised being like 3 years I still have not got Tenenbaum at this rate. I might actually get all the shards for him. Which would be quite something. Well, anyway, this has been me, the Troublemaker, and I will be streaming again in the future. Hope you enjoyed this little story time. Well, good luck, and I'll see you all next time. And before I yeet, and now I don't have enough people to raid with, but anyway, take care.